So, here goes. I've never told this story publicly before. And honestly, I don't know how much time I've got left to tell it. But I figured if I don't get this out now, maybe I never will. Hey there, Reddit. I'm new here, kind of figuring it out as I go, so if this ends up in the wrong place or breaks any rules, my bad. I'll fix it. I'm just hoping this story reaches the right eyes someday. Maybe it'll help someone who's stuck in a place like I was. Or maybe it'll just let me feel, for once, like I did something right. Alright. So here's the real story, no filter. I'm Jacob. I'm a white guy from rural Oklahoma. Born and raised in a little town of barely 400 people, basically just a handful of dusty roads, some cows, and more churches than grocery stores. We grew up tough, you know. Rode bulls on the weekend, worked farms during the week. I was your typical small-town southern kid, loud trucks, beer on the tailgate, country music blasting while we swam in muddy rivers. I was proud of it too. Thought I knew exactly how the world worked. By the time I hit 16, I was done with school. Dropped out early, picked up some work, and started partying hard. Real hard. Somewhere along the way, I got pulled into this, well, let's just say it wasn't a good crowd. A lot of talk about pride, about country, about people not like us. And for a while, I ate it up. I was too young and too stupid to see it for what it was. Anyway, fast forward a bit, I ended up moving to the city in my late teens. Big change. Still trying to find my footing, still partying, still kinda aimless. I fell in with a new group of buddies, and one of them showed me this little convenience store that, well, didn't care much about asking for ID. Sold beer, tobacco, cheap snacks, the essentials. It was run by this Muslim family who had just immigrated from Bangladesh. I didn't think much of it at the time. One of the daughters worked there, pretty girl, quiet, definitely different from what I was used to. But hey, it was cheap, and they didn't ask questions, so I kept going back. I saw her here and there over the next couple years. We'd exchange a quick hello, maybe a polite smile, and that was about it. Eventually, I moved away again. Life carried on, jobs, parties, breakups, you name it. But then, about 2 years later, I came back to visit some friends, and found myself wandering into that same store again. I don't even know why. Just, habit, I guess. But something was different this time. We talked a little longer. Laughed. She made fun of my accent, I teased her right back. Her name was Amina. And she had this energy about her, gentle but sharp, like she saw right through me. Still wore the scarf, still stuck close to her family, but she smiled a lot more. Her English had improved, and I guess so had mine, in a way. And I started to notice, she wasn't just the girl at the store anymore. She was funny. Crazy smart. Absolutely beautiful. And kind, God, she was kind in a way I didn't even know people could be. Especially to someone like me. Little by little, I kept coming back. Not for beer this time. Just, to see her. And here's the part that kinda cracked me wide open, I realized these folks I'd been told were different, or foreign, or whatever, they weren't that different at all. Her family reminded me of mine in weird ways. Her dad worked himself to the bone just to keep the store going. Her mom always had food ready, no matter what. They were warm. They welcomed me in, even if they didn't totally trust me yet. And I got it, why would they? Something shifted in me. I stopped hanging out with the guys I used to run with. That old hate, that judgment. I started to see it for what it really was, ignorance. Fear. And I didn't want to be that guy anymore. Let me be clear, nobody back home taught me to be a racist. It wasn't that kind of place. It was just, all white. Nobody ever talked about race because we didn't have to. That silence shaped me more than I realized. Anyway, I stuck around. Got a job nearby. Moved in with some friends. Mostly, I just wanted to be close to her. But here's the kicker, we both knew this thing between us couldn't go anywhere. Not officially. Not in her world. I was everything she wasn't supposed to be. A white guy. A Christian. A cowboy dropout who used to roll with people who would have spat on her for her hijab. So yeah, she'd never go for me. And even if she did, her family would never let it happen. Her culture, her religion, everything, it meant we were living in two separate universes. But still. I couldn't stay away. 4 months. That's how long I kept it all bottled up. Every look she gave me, every little laugh, every stolen moment, we were just friends, technically. But man, it was killing me. So one night, I couldn't take it anymore. I asked her if she wanted to grab dinner, nothing unusual, we'd eaten out a few times before, just casual. But this time was different. I had a plan. I was gonna finally tell her how I felt. We sat across from each other, eating like it was just another night. But inside, I was shaking like a leaf. I couldn't even taste my food. My heart was pounding so loud I swear it drowned out everything else. And when the moment came, I nearly choked on my own words. I just blurted it out, clumsy and desperate. I love you, would you go out with me? Like, as my girlfriend? As soon as those words left my mouth, I felt like I'd just jumped off a cliff with no parachute. I was waiting for the crash, just absolutely bracing for the rejection. For the silence. For her to say something like, I can't. And when she spoke, I was so far gone with panic I didn't even hear what she said. I looked up, probably pale as a ghost, and said, wait, what did you say? And then she smiled, no, beamed, and said it again. Yes. Yes. I swear, in that moment, the whole world flipped upside down. That one word turned everything I thought I knew into something brand new. I just couldn't believe it. She wasn't supposed to say yes. Not with all the boundaries between us. And yet, she did. That was the start of something I never saw coming. We kept it all a secret. Had to. Her family would never approve, at least that's what we thought. So we dated in the shadows. Quick coffee meetups. Parking lot hugs. Sneaking away between shifts just to hold hands for 5 minutes in a car with the windows fogged up. We'd drive across town just to see each other for a few seconds. It was crazy. It was reckless. It was beautiful. And just like that, 2 weeks in, I knew. That feeling people always talk about, you know, when they say, you just know, I finally understood it. I looked at her one day, and it hit me like lightning, I couldn't live a single day without her. Not really. Not the way I had before. So I started working my tail off. Extra shifts, side gigs, anything. I was on a mission. I saved up every spare dollar I could until I finally had enough to buy a ring. Nothing fancy, but it was real. It was honest. And it was meant for her. When I finally got the courage to propose, I took her out to our little secret spot by the lake, just the two of us, with the water gently moving and the late afternoon sun lighting her up like something out of a dream. We were talking about nothing, just passing time. And then I turned to her, heart in my throat, and said, "Will you marry me?" And I swear to God, time stopped. It was only half a second, but it felt like the whole world held its breath. And then, the tears started rolling down her face. She didn't say anything for a moment. Just smiled, nodded, and whispered yes. It was soft, but it hit me like thunder. She said yes. She was going to marry me. No fancy planning. No family approval. Just us and that moment, and it was perfect. A couple of weeks went by, and one day, almost like it was telepathic, we looked at each other and both said, "Let's do it. Let's get married now." Still, no one knew we were even dating, so there was no way we could have a big wedding. We called the courthouse in a town an hour away, far enough that no one would recognize us. The closest date they had was a week later. We booked it. On that day, we each snuck out of our lives. Got dressed separately, met up down the road, and drove to the courthouse. We didn't even have the 2 required witnesses. They weren't exactly easy to find when your whole relationship is a secret. But the clerks there. God bless them, they stepped in for us. No questions asked. And that was it. 1 month to the day after I asked her to be my girlfriend, down to the hour, we became husband and wife. Quietly. Secretly. And honestly, I don't think I've ever felt happier in my life. But, of course, life doesn't let you stay in your fairy tale for long. 2 weeks later, her family found out. It happened because her cousin, who, lucky us, was also her CPA, noticed her last name had changed on a tax form. She didn't say anything at first. Just waited. Checked court records online. And then, get this, she started calling every single Bangladeshi family in the state trying to confirm what she'd found. And sure enough, she did. That night, I got a call from Amina. Her voice was shaking. She was freaking out. Her family knew. I drove straight over to her place, heart pounding, ready for the worst. I didn't know what was about to happen. Would they yell? Kick her out? Threaten me? But when I walked through the door, I was met with smiles. With hugs. With actual joy. Turns out, they were excited for us. And in that moment, standing there in her parents' living room, surrounded by warmth I didn't expect, I realized something I'd been afraid to believe. Maybe, just maybe, love was enough. Hell yeah, we did it. Just a week after everything came out, we got a place together, a little house that became our first home. And not long after that, she found out she was pregnant. I mean, can you imagine? We were starting a life. A real life. Together. Months passed, and eventually we decided to head back to my hometown in Oklahoma. I was nervous, I won't lie. It's a small place, tight-knit, mostly white, Christian, and let's just say they hadn't exactly been exposed to a whole lot of diversity. Some of those folks had never even seen a Muslim person before, much less spoken to one. But what happened surprised me in the best possible way. They welcomed her, us, with wide open arms. My dad, who raised me alone after my mom left when I was 4, shook her hand with the biggest grin. He was warm, respectful, kind. No weird questions. No sideways glances. Just pure love. And the town? Same thing. They didn't care about her skin color. Didn't care about her religion. What they saw was a good-hearted, sweet, whip-smart woman who made me happy, and that was enough. That meant something. Then came the biggest moment of all. She gave birth to our son. Our perfect, beautiful, healthy baby boy. I still get choked up just thinking about it. Watching her hold him for the first time, man, there are no words. We were a family now. Just like that. Life felt whole. Like everything we fought through, everything we hid, was finally worth it. Fast forward 7 years. 7 years of marriage, of laughter, of late-night talks and early morning cuddles. 7 years of raising the most amazing, curious, brilliant little boy I could have ever hoped for. 7 years of surviving health scares, sleepless nights, and life turning us upside down more times than I can count. You know what? I still look at her and feel the same way I did the night I asked her to dinner. She's still the most incredible woman I've ever known. I got really sick somewhere along the way. Bedridden for a while. Scared I wouldn't come out the other side. And yet, she stayed. She held me through the worst days and kept hope alive when I couldn't. We're technically not even supposed to be together. I mean, by the rules of her faith, a Muslim woman isn't supposed to marry a Christian man. But here's the thing, we don't force our beliefs on each other. We respect them. We listen. We talk when we're curious, and we love each other regardless. And our son? He can choose his own path. We don't tell him what to believe. We just teach him to be kind, to be strong, and to be true to himself. Whatever faith or direction he ends up taking, we'll stand by him. People sometimes ask me, how can you two make it work? Isn't it a sin? Isn't it forbidden? And every single time, I tell them the same thing. God commands us to love. To respect. To serve. Not to judge. That's all the permission I need. We've built a life that's better than I ever dreamed. We live in a beautiful place, work jobs that fulfill us, and we've carved out our own little slice of heaven here on earth. I wake up every day thankful. Truth is, the Lord has blessed me. I didn't always deserve it, but somehow, He gave me everything anyway. And you know what I've learned through it all? Never judge someone for the ways they're different from you. Not their religion. Not their skin. Not their accent, their culture, their traditions. Because when you look closer, really look, you'll see something amazing. We're all just people. Every one of us. We all want the same things, to feel safe, to be loved, to love in return. To wake up and smile, to find peace at night. That's what binds us. I used to think the world was small. That my little corner of it was all there was. But now, I study the healing traditions of cultures around the globe, learning how people from every walk of life use natural remedies to care for their bodies and their communities. And what I've found is simple but powerful. Open your heart, and the world opens back. Let go of the fear, the stereotypes, the old walls you've built up around yourself, and suddenly, you'll see just how much beauty there is in every person, every place, every story. Thank you for reading mine. I don't know how much time I've got left. My health's not great, and there's a good chance I won't make it as far as I'd hoped. But I wanted to get this out there. Just in case. Maybe someone out there needed to hear it. Maybe it'll help somebody love a little harder, fear a little less. Maybe it'll remind someone that love can conquer all. So please, be kind. Be open. You never know what incredible journey might be waiting for you just outside your comfort zone. Thanks again for listening.